Hi, my name is Liz Waxler, and my story is about after I finished graduate school, I always wanted to work in television. That was my dream, and it was my dream because a neighbor friend of mine said that she worked for NBC and she had time to pick up her dry cleaning during the day, and I thought, oh my God, I want that job. I want whatever that job is. I want that job. So I got my master's degree, and I started hitting the streets looking for jobs in network television, and looked around for a while, and I got 2 offers at the same time. I got an offer from the NBA network and CNBC, and I went and I considered the NBA. It had a little more cachet than CNBC did. But the girls at the NBA network were kind of long. They all had long hair and super high-heeled shoes and really short skirts. And there was bulletproof glass in the waiting room when you walked in. And it just didn't feel right for me. And CNBC was all kind of Ivy Leaguers. And it just had, even though I wasn't Ivy League, I just felt like I fit more into that environment. So I took the job at CNBC, and I worked my butt off, and I worked late every night. And CNBC was one of those places where they had TVs everywhere, TVs all along the ceiling of the room that had a live feed of what was going on in the studios. And CNBC at that time had business programming with the ticker during the day, and then at night the programming got a little more creative. And they weren't quite sure what they were doing yet. And there was a show called Real Personal with Bob Berkowitz, which is essentially an explicit sex show. And they would talk about dildos and masturbation and group sex. And this would go on. And I'm working at my desk, doing marketing. And I'm listening to looking on the TV, and I'm seeing, groups of people pulling out things and, comparing vibrators and comparing, toys and, okay. And this is TV. And one night I'm working there, and this very tall person comes in, about 6'4", 6'5", lumbering in like kind of is a she. And she had she was huge. She had a page boy haircut, kind of like Buster Brown, really bad lipstick, really bad eyeshadow, really bad nails, very high heels, and kind of walked like this. And had a very low whisper like this, but kind of not very practiced. And she came over to me and she said, "Hello, I'm looking for Real Personal." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's on the 5th floor. You're on the wrong floor." And she turns around and she walks out. And just at that time, a lawyer comes out who is a guy that I worked with, but I didn't know he was on the floor. And he's like all pale, and he's really nervous. And he's this nebbishy guy from Long Island. And he's like, "Did you just see that woman?" And I was, "Oh yeah, I saw her." And he goes, "Was she what I thought she was?" And I said, "I think so. I think she was a transvestite." And he was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And he was really shaken up about it. He was nervous about it. So I thought, okay, she found her place. She went down to the 5th floor. And after he left, I thought, gee, he seems so nervous. Maybe I'll play a joke on him. So I took a piece of paper out of my pocket, and I wrote a little note to him in lip pencil, and I kissed it. And I put perfume on it, and it was like, "Dear Larry, thank you so much for telling me where the studio was. If you ever want to meet up, let me know." And the next morning, I'm sitting at my desk, and I can't wait for Larry to find out. He comes over to me, and he is literally like, you could actually see sweat beading on him, and he's totally pale, and he's completely serious. And he comes over to me, and he's like, "Look what I found on my desk." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what does it say?" And he said, "Oh, she said she wants to meet up with me." And he was so serious that I was going to play it off as a joke, but then I felt so bad for him. So I said, "It's me, I did it. And he was like, "I can't believe you did it." And I was so ready to be fired. But the president actually thought it was hilarious. So thank God I got to keep my job, and that was probably one of my best early memories in television. So, thank you.